All right, ladies and gentlemen, Handkerchief Dynasty coming at you. I am, as always, your secret professor, joined by my good friend, the High Priest of Oilers Magic. How are you, High Priest, post-Montreal game? You can't be good.
Whatever. You know what, man? This Montreal game, it's like one of those things. It's like anything else that you're going to do something, right? You're going to do something. And then, like, at the very last second, they're like, you know what? It's not happening. Can we do it again next week? And you're like, yeah, sure. But then, like, when it's time to do it again next week, you're like, I don't know, like, this is kind of like, I'm not really down with this anymore. Like, this sounded fun when we were going to do it last week, but like a lot of stuff's going on since then. And like, I'm just not really down with it right now. So I'll do it. But like, you know what I mean? I'm just not really into it. So I don't really care that the Oilers lost 4-0 to Montreal. I really don't give a shit at all. I'm fine.
I mean, 3rd and 4 nights.
Yeah, I mean, give me a break. And we just like, you know what I mean? Those 2 Toronto Maple Leafs games were like incredible, both of them, last night's especially, and then this stupid game against the Habs. Like, whatever. I'm definitely not sweating that game at all. In fact, I did something I never do, or I do it about once a year. I bailed on that game about halfway through the 3rd period, and I was just like, you know what? Like, nobody wants to be doing this right now. The Oilers don't want to be doing this. Maybe the stupid Habs want to be doing it. They're like, like having a whale of a time, you know? But I didn't want to be watching it anymore. The kids didn't want to be watching it anymore. So we just put on the Goonies instead. It was great decision.
It's important to move on with your life at a certain point.
Well, it was just like it was like the game was meant to be played like the canceled games, the games that have to be made up again. I don't want any part of that weird ass bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Keep it away from me. Those games got canceled and then they're playing them again later. Ugh. That just creeps me out, man.
Not a fan, eh?
I want nothing to do with those games. Those games don't count. I mean, they do count, but not to me, not to my spiritual self. They don't resonate with my soul. They got canceled. They're in the past, and then we have to play them again. I don't know. It seems it's just ridiculous. Nobody wanted to be there. It was crazy. Mikko was in net, for goodness sakes. I mean, nobody was, you know?
Mikko looked a little shaky in the first, for sure, but he was also like not getting much help. But it was like, and deep down, I was like, I would pull Mikko right now.
Yeah, but
after like the second goal,
like Mike Smith just battled the Leafs for like, you know what I mean? Those 2 games, like the man's. I think it's getting to the point where Stalock should replace Mikko. Like next time the Oilers are thinking about
we
playing.
need to see Stalock play before we can say that, though.
Do we? How much worse could he be? Mikko's done nothing but submit Fs for like,
Let me ask you a question, though.
Months. Get Stalock in there. Try him out.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Okay.
Do you think as a fan base, we've made the mistake of mistaking our defensive prospect depth as actual depth on defense?
No, I think
because honestly, like we have a lion's share of amazing prospects on defense, but it's not as though we have a stacked D, not yet. You know,
I don't know.
So I really think we might be making a mistake, kind of like jumping the gun on assuming that because I mean, some teams we don't stack up very, very well when you compare our defensive core.
All I'm saying is we looked pretty great defensively in those 2 games against the Leafs. Pretty damn great, in my opinion. So I mean, who knows? Maybe our depth isn't as good, but I'm certainly not sweating our D right now. Not by a long shot.
Why not, though?
Well, why would you? I mean, we just played the best team in the Northern Division in 2 absolute battles. Didn't give up a lot of goals. Took them to overtime, both games, and won 1 game. You know what I mean? Like, we were so sound. The Oilers were so sound defensively in both those games. I don't know. I'm just not willing to like. I don't really have a lot of concern about the Edmonton Oilers right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's definitely the funny thing is though, I feel like we're a team that when we have sometimes a bad loss can hang. It doesn't always.
And maybe
Sometimes it takes a little while to work our way up. But I think I'm just chalking this one up seriously to mostly hopefully just fatigue, and they got a little bit of time here, reset the clock. Like you say, there was all these mitigating factors. I mean, as Oilers fans, we're very skilled at providing all the excuses, but I think they're legitimate ones this time. And also, again, move on with your life was the headline, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the team is going to sweat these losses, and I don't think well, of course, the fan base will, but personally, I'm not. Like, it was a one-off game. There was that huge game last night, and then to imagine having like you beat the top team in the Northern Division in overtime, right? In Toronto, and then like the next night you have to play some bogus game that got canceled last week. Can you imagine? That's like I was saying, it's like anything else. Like, it's just like some stupid bullshit you have to do where you were psyched up for it when it happened last week, and then you have to do it after this huge emotional high. Like, I don't know. It was like not. The Oilers weren't in a very good position for success. I don't think they should have been. Maybe on paper, you'd think that they could have waltzed in. But I don't know. When you look at everything, like the amount of games that have been played, the fact that it was some ridiculous makeup game from a week ago, forget it. I don't really care.
Do you think we should tease our special guest / first special premium patron-only episode coming soon? I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
We're recording on Thursday, exciting. If all goes well. Someone who's very near and dear to our hearts.
Oh, it will go well. Trust me, the guest won't back out. There's nobody more reliable on the face of the earth, as far as I'm concerned.
Fantastic.
Than the guest that we'll have on Thursday.
All right. So if you guys want to get that right when it's hot, join us at patreon.com/Handkerchief Dynasty. Also follow the High Priest of Oilers Magic on Twitter at High Priest Oil. So let me ask you this, High Priest of Oilers Magic. Yeah. I feel as though for this team, if you're the GM of this team and you want to send a signal to them that, hey, I think we can make some noise this year, you gotta pull a trade here. This is a lineup desperate for a spare part to come in, who's serviceable, help out a little bit potentially. I mean, sure, didn't really happen last year, but obviously last year was a fucking,
Strongly disagree.
Crazy. Why? You got to send a message to the guys, man. I'm
what
behind
message?
You. We're like, damn the torpedoes.
What's the message? That we've played like incredible over the past 20 games? Is that the message? Because we have.
No, the message is we need a guy who can win a face-off. We need maybe another defenseman or a goalie. We need something.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think you need to send messages to teams that have like lost 4 games of their last 20. You know what I mean? I don't think you need to send a message to that team. I think that team is sending their own messages out to everyone's ass that they're kicking. I don't want to get in there and be like, oh, you know what I mean? That's not, if it's me, I'm not making a trade. Okay. And especially this season, like I'm just not.
Really? Like, but with the clear need for like another skill forward in the top 6? You think we can address that? I don't know.
We've lost like 4 games out of our last 20. Like,
yeah, I know the recent record, but I mean, I think most people would say, you know what, we could use maybe another option in the top 6. I mean, it's pretty.
I don't know. Not me. I wouldn't try pulling a trade together during this wackadoo season. Forget it.
So it's just because of the inclement weather.
No, it's because we've been so good over the past 20 games that I don't think the management needs to send a message to the team. I think our record is the message. The Oilers have played exceptionally well over the past 20 games. There's no need to send a message to bring somebody new into the room. And yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I disagree.
Perhaps you have a question for me then.
Well, I don't know. My question is, I mean, why do you think that management needs to send a message? What's the message?
I mean, it's a team that has not gone through a lot of playoff runs for one. So, like them being a buyer at the deadline is still a very, very new thing. And I think they responded well to the fact that he showed confidence in them by picking up the people he did last year, even though it didn't really pan out for
in
a
the
number
off
of different reasons. But for the team definitely gave the team a boost. And I think it can give a young team a boost who honestly have not had much of a taste of success.
So the message you're sending is I don't think you're ready for the playoffs.
No, the message you're sending is I think we're really close. I'm going to help you guys out and do what I can.
Even though you've won, like you're just kicking the crap out of everybody. See, that's what
we just
I mean.
lost 4-0. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I could have a recency bias
We
for
can't
the last game. If you want to have a recency bias for the last 20 games, I mean, we can show up and just like pull down our pants and see who has the bigger recency bias.
No. I think a recency bias, including the past 20 games, is not as big a recency bias as the game that occurred like 2 hours ago.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's true. It's definitely yours is definitely not as big. That's true.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah,
my
true.
recency bias is not actually a recency bias. Yeah. Yours is. And I wouldn't want to send the message to the team that I don't think you're ready for the playoffs, to a team that's doing very well.
So you stand by your previous position of we're guaranteed to win in a 7-game series against Toronto. Nothing to worry about. Stand pat. Mike Smith for president for life.
Mike Smith has played great. No, he hasn't.
Oh, sure he has. Yeah.
I wouldn't say. I'd say I'd take our chances against the Leafs in a 7-game series. I don't think I ever said I would guarantee a victory against the Leafs. Maybe I did. Definitely take our chances. Are you saying you want to get another goalie in and Mike Smith isn't our guy? You think that would work out well, that situation? Because that sounds like it would be rife.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you can get rid of. I don't know if you can offload Mikko, which is what you'd have to do probably. I mean, I do think honestly, there's at least 3 to 4 players who play in our top 6 who would love the Oilers to pick up some more skill for the top 6. Love. Yeah. And I want those players happy. I want those players producing. I don't want the default option path of least resistance Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the second line with plus whoever. Like, yeah, well, that kind of shit is always going to look good in small bursts, but like we need some genuine fucking firepower, man.
Yeah, Nuge hasn't done it at all this year.
He can't do it by himself. I mean, I'm not gonna.
He can't do it at all. He's had a poor season.
Think about it this way: having a poor season is good in the sense that he's probably going to have worse position in the contract.
Well, if having a poor season is good, then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has had an excellent season.
Why do you got to be this way, man?
Yeah,
we used to talk. Like you remember when we used to like just make time for each other? We just have.
I'm just
fun.
saying.
You remember?
I'm agreeing with you, my friend. If having, you know what I'm saying?
Doesn't feel like agreeing. I do think we've mistaken. I think like we need to resolve the question. Like there needs to be some kind of battle royale. I mean, the original film battle royale style event where we have a solidified like top 4 at least. Or top 6, you know, like I think there needs to be some regularity in the pairings and whatnot. And we got too many guys. We're trying to shuffle the Jenga game.
I know, but they're all playing like pretty well right now. That's what I'm saying. It's not like it's a problem. Like we're playing well defensively. Like how many times aside from tonight,
we need a second pairing that isn't playing pretty well. We need a second pairing that plays great.
Listen, how many times aside from tonight have we given up more than 3 goals lately? It hasn't happened very often. We've been great defensively lately. We don't need to blow shit up because we lost 4-0 to the Habs in some stupid makeup game. You know what I mean? Like, let's just keep rolling. I don't know. I don't think management needs to be sending messages to the team. Not this team. I don't think.
All right. So what do you see? What do you see in your crystal ball coming up here? I mean, we got a few days off.
Yeah, I mean, I think
who is it? Fucking Vancouver in the next couple of games, right?
Yeah, we had a few days off before the Toronto games. We had a few days off before the Toronto games, and the Oilers wound up playing. I mean, those were both games were fantastic. I thought last night especially might have been the best I thought they've played the entire season. So I expect the days off won't hurt them very much. I don't think they'll take this loss. I don't think it'll deflate them. They've been really great this year at not letting losses like that totally deflate them. We haven't eaten a lot of bad steak, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's going to be tough though. We got 5 games in 9 days coming up, starting on Friday. Yeah,
but we have like Connie and Dry, and Mike Smith is playing great. I don't know. I'm just not
weird
concerned.
because I'm usually the one who's kind of cockeyed and optimistic for no real reason, but you're being optimistic, but you're also doing it in this way that's very difficult to pin down because it's really like wry and what's the word I'm looking for? You're kind of being a dick about it. It's interesting. It's a form of optimism I've never encountered before. The like dickish optimism, I guess I'd call it. I guess
I wasn't expecting. I mean, what really set me off is when you said something about sending a message. I didn't like that.
Not a fan of the phrase "sending a message." I think that's legit. I understand that.
Didn't like that. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then I don't know. It's just well, I mean, if we're talking about my wry dickish ways, I mean, something that I've noticed you do is you take these losses, these one-off losses, you take them hard. You took the games against Toronto harder than I did, and I think you're taking this one a little harder than I
thought we agreed we both took the losses against Toronto exceptionally well.
I mean,
relatively speaking.
Do you
think that was all bullshit and we were just like dying under the surface? Like an ocean of melancholy, just like barely visible?
I think we both took the losses. I'd say we both took them well, but we took them well in different ways. I took it well in a way that I just thought it was a statistical anomaly, right? Like it was just a weird occurrence. You took it well in a way that you were like, you're kind of like everything is all right with the world. The sun is going to come up tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was more of, this isn't an end of the world. You were kind of like propping yourself up.
For more of the High Priest of Oilers Magic revisionist histories, please join us at patreon.com/Handkerchief Dynasty.
I mean, if you go back, your okayness with the losses seemed more like an acceptance of life itself, whereas mine was just sort of like, it was more of a statistical anomaly angle that I was approaching the losses from.
All right, I'll take that. I'm not going to take that. So your prediction for the game again? I mean, the games against the Flames and Toronto and Vancouver, should both be fairly winnable. So
I don't know, man. I've noticed like in the past like past 2 weeks, maybe I've noticed the intensity of these games has really ramped up. Don't you think so? Like it's starting to feel more and more like what we thought naively that the entire season was going to be like. Like it's getting super tight at the top, and Calgary's gonna like making some sort of weird push for it. Who knows what they're up to.
And the officials have just like pocketed their whistles.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. They're going to be intense games. I don't think. I mean, they're not going to be easy to win, right? I think they're going to be really, really tough games. I think we can win those games. The Oilers have a better team than the Canucks, I think, and the Flames, but who knows? I mean, those teams are playing for their lives, and it's such a small division, right? Like the points are so incredibly valuable with the way this whole thing is structured. It's going to be nuts. This final race for spots is going to be super crazy.
Is Kyle Turris the proverbial brother-in-law that you're kind of stuck with, even though it's awkward and it's not working out and it's at times really painful? Or is he the awkward brother-in-law that will one day redeem himself and become a beloved member of the family?
Yeah, I think
like some kind of Owen Wilson vehicle. This could be, I think.
You know what I think, man? I think guys like Kyle Turris always have like the playoffs is a really big opportunity for those guys, those types of players who kind of were expected to do something in the regular season, but never really found their footing. Like they showed moments, but they never really found their footing. I think those guys, I know if I was one of those guys, I would view the playoffs as like a second chance to kind of start over again. I think a guy like Kyle Turris, I like to think he could do something like that. Maybe. I don't know. I just think he could show there's still opportunity to get value out of Turris, and it might be in the playoffs.
Interesting. Do you see Connie and Dry sticking together a few more games, or are we going to be going back to the 1-2?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think
I'm
it's
sort of
around
happy
that
with
time
it.
where he should be breaking. He probably should have broken it up this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of happy with it. I don't know. I'm happy with it either way, honestly. Like the team has played so well over this last stretch that I don't know, until I see something not working at all and I don't have an easy answer for it, at least like for myself, an easy answer where, it's not some weird canceled game, or it's not, the fourth game in 5 nights or third game in 5 nights or something like that. Like, or they've put together a few losses in a row. I don't know. Like I'm willing to go along with Tippy's decision making right now. It's working. It's working for me. I like what he's doing.
Fair enough. We'll start the wind-up procedure. Any parting words for the faithful out there, other than look forward to the bonus episode on Thursday? It's going to be fucking off the hook.
Yeah, it should be a pretty great episode. Yeah, that's about it. I don't really have much of anything else.
All right.
The Toronto games were really great. I mean, we didn't do an episode after those games, so you can imagine.
True.
I mean, you can imagine if we had done an episode after the game last night, right? It would have been.
Yeah. We would have been talking about the Darnell Nurse for like an hour.
Yeah,
the game before that, we would have been talking about that fucking Draisaitl pass for like an hour.
Yeah, those games were amazing.
So sick.
I don't know. I think they're in a really good spot right now. I don't really think any of the teams will make a trade. You know what I mean? Like, I think making a trade, has it really benefited? Like maybe the Jets when they picked up Pierre-Luc Dubois, but that was more of like, that trade had to happen, right? Like Dubois had put Columbus in a situation where it was like, trade me, and it hasn't worked out at all for Columbus. Laine's like not doing anything. So I don't know. I think making a trade might just be, for all the teams, might just be too much of like a weird risk or something like that. Like do you have a player that won't be in your lineup for like 2 weeks? It's just bizarre.
Yeah. All right.
But I think in our specific case, in the Oilers case, I don't think we even need to make a trade. Like,
yeah. So you're checking to me. So bet is mine. Bets to me. Okay. I'm all in.
Yeah, you're looking for a trade. You've been looking for a trade this entire season.
Trades are fun. What can I tell you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they are fun. They're fun if they work. If they don't work, then they really aren't fun. And they're awful.
That's also true. That is.
And I don't
true.
I don't know how fun they are in the room either. I think they're pretty awful in the room. Like the room seems, again, I have no idea, but it just seems like a tight group. And in my eye, everybody kind of has a place in that room for the most part, except for maybe a couple of the new guys.
It's fun to talk about it, though. Think about it.
Yeah, it's fun to talk about it. It's just like, I don't want it to weigh me down or anything, or you know what I mean? It seems like I'd rather be thinking about how we're kicking the shit out of everybody. I never get to think about that.
It's true.
I like thinking about it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
Like that thing, I'm going to think about that elbow that a certain someone threw for a while too. That was awesome. I loved it. I mean, I don't condone violence except when it's my team.
Yeah, you know Connie's got,
which is kind of the story of history overall when you think about it. That's kind of the tragedy of man. I don't condone violence except when it's my team.
Yeah, Connie's got a mean streak, eh?
Oh, I mean, fuck yeah. I mean, he gets fucking people. You kidding me? The shit he puts up with.
I know, but he's got he's such a different player, obviously, in so many regards than. There's the only person I can compare to is because he was an Oiler as well as Gretzky, but Gretzky didn't have that mean streak at all. Like there was no mean streak in that guy when he played.
Different time.
But Connie's got that. Like he has he's like really hyper competitive and almost like an asshole about it. You know what I mean? Like you can see it in him. And like he's one of those guys that when things aren't going well, he really like internalizes it. And it's just, he gets like kind of, I don't know, like an asshole about it. You know what I mean? And you can see it, like he wears it.
I mean, Jordan was like that a little bit. to.
Oh, he was
based on
absolutely like that.
Documentary,
Totally.
that documentary's made us all experts on the championship Bulls teams, and Jordan hasn't.
Yeah,
But I
isn't
gotta
it
go, bro.
nice?
So let's leave it there. Put a pin in it. We'll
Okay.
hook it up again real soon. Yeah, it's good to talk. It was too bad we didn't talk after the Toronto games. It would have been fun, but unfortunately scheduling did not allow. However, thank you to all of you for listening. Thank you to you, High Priest of Oilers Magic, for your many offerings and your many actions and your great heroism when fighting against the astrologers and numerologists.
Yeah, thanks to you as well.
Yeah. And we'll hook it up real soon. I'll see you. We'll chat in a couple of days, probably before.
Okay. Take it easy. Okay. Take it easy. Okay.